The ramen is secured. The series win is secured.
That's right.
20 runs scored at Fenway by the San Diego Padres. There we go.
Finally. Welcome back to my channel. I apologize for this questionable lighting situation. I'm just sitting here at my desk. It is just after 8 a.m. I have a few things on the agenda for the day and the week. I am in the process of cleaning data, prepping it for analysis from experiment 3 of my dissertation. I have noticed already that there are some participants we're going to have to screen out for various things, people reporting that they took a photo of the map as a strategy, stuff like that, which we can't have, but that's why we include those screening questions in the first place. I also have a manuscript that I shared with one of the collaborators. He responded with some feedback. He said that it's just some minor modifications that he's suggesting, so that's positive. And it also means that it's time to move forward with submitting that manuscript, and that always takes a little bit of time as well, just to go through the process of preparing the materials for submission. I definitely would like to get it submitted. Oh, I just remembered too, I also have to get that OPSEC, so I have to get that approved by the funding source. So hopefully we can submit that for publication in the next week or so. All in all, I've been feeling pretty motivated this week. I've been making some simple but active changes, simple kind of cognitive reframing strategies that I think have been really effective for me and just feeling more motivated and happier. And then also some ways that I've been kind of streamlining the process of meal prepping and planning dinners for the week. So I am going to share more about that with you in this video as well. Let's get into it. All right, that went well. Some of the comments were a little bit more theoretical though, so I'm going to wait for my advisor to get back from vacation next week and then chat with her about some of those prior to submitting it for approval. I am now going to move on to cleaning data from experiment 3, and I've been doing that on my laptop because that's where I have the macro stored, is on my laptop. So I will likely check back in around lunchtime. All right, I just finished cleaning all of the data that we have to this point and then released 30 more participant slots. I think that should get me close to, if not at, the desired participant number for this experiment. I didn't clean survey data yet, but I'll get to that eventually. So it is just about noon and I'm actually pretty hungry. I think I'm going to make myself a little bit of an earlier lunch today. I mentioned earlier that I've been integrating some new approaches, kind of help things be a little bit more efficient, run a little bit more smoothly when it comes to meal planning for the week. So kind of funny, but I've actually been using ChatGPT to help me plan my meals for the week. What we like to do is plan meals that can feed us for 2 nights. I put into ChatGPT either a dinner that has enough for leftovers, or you could just put in a dinner that serves 4, and you can just give it feedback. So like for instance, I don't really like quinoa or lentils, so if it suggests something like that, I'll just say try something without quinoa or try something without lentils. You can say if you want it to be healthy, low carb, high protein, whatever it is that you're looking for, vegetarian, so on and so forth, and it will print you out a full recipe. So for instance, last night for dinner, I made this corn and zucchini chowder. I made a few modifications to it. I added pancetta on top, and I went ahead and made some cornbread as well with it. I also added a few additional spices than what it recommended, but overall that recipe came from ChatGPT's suggestions. If you do not have the time, energy, patience to search through cookbooks or look through food blogs online, that's a really quick way to just get some ideas for the week ahead. For lunch this week, we're just doing some chicken wraps. So we prepped some chicken and then we grabbed this this bud from the store. It's like flax, oat bran, and whole wheat. It's thin, so it's good for a wrap, and that will be my lunch for today. So I have cucumber, tomato, some chicken, and then we picked up this dressing, Primal Kitchen Dreamy Italian. And then I'll throw in a little bit of arugula into the wrap. Our dishwasher is down right now, so we're having to hand wash everything. And I'm trying not to use a lot of dishes, so I'm just reusing this plate I just washed from breakfast. A little bit of pepper. I have products from 2020. It is a beauty brand that was created by an eye doctor. Sam went to an eye care conference. He was given a sample that he brought home for me, and then I entered a giveaway and won. So I have this box of products from them. I think what I'm going to do is just put on a little bit of a base, and then we can play around with the eye and eyebrow products together. As I'm doing this today, I thought it would be fun to have a little bit of a deeper chat. I feel like it's been a minute since I've kind of opened up about some things, even though it can be really challenging to make myself vulnerable in that way. It's always rewarding, and I feel like it's really the only way for us to truly connect with one another. There's some things that have been on my mind recently that I'm going to open up a bit about. So I'm gonna put on some quick base products, and then I'll come back. We can play with the new stuff from 2020 and have a chat. Okay, base is on. I also slapped on some earrings and curled my eyelashes. I meant to say that it's a rainy day here today, so I'm filming in the office because I'm hopeful the lighting is a little bit better. You'll just have to bear with me. This is not a makeup tutorial, it's just us hanging out and chatting. So what I think we'll go for today are the eyeshadow sticks, which I believe I have in 3 different colors. And then I have their Clean Sweep mascara and the full brows. I believe this is like a brow gel. I just took these out of the packaging, so we're doing first impressions together. I believe I got these in the shade Brunette. So in my recent video, I just briefly touched on a little bit about my journey with public speaking, and one of my friends, Maddie, left a comment on that video. She is another YouTuber here who is also pursuing her PhD. I only watch videos from a handful of YouTubers nowadays, and she's one of them. I love her videos. I will definitely link her channel down below, so you should be sure to go check it out. She left a comment that essentially said that she feels like doing YouTube has helped her with her public speaking anxiety, and that definitely resonated with me. But what YouTube has really helped me with is perfectionism. So that's what I want to talk with you about today. I can confidently say that I have been a perfectionist for most, if not all, of my conscious life. What's unique about perfectionism is that being a perfectionist can actually lead to positive outcomes. For instance, in my academics, being a perfectionist has helped me get A's, excel academically. As perfectionists, sometimes there doesn't seem to be enough motivation to resist the urge to push ourselves over the edge unnecessarily in order to achieve perfection, which nothing is ever perfect. It isn't possible. So we'll make that part clear here just right off the bat. Let's go ahead and open up these eyeshadow sticks and start to play around. Okay, so here is Love at First Sight. This one is Rose Colored Glasses, and then Private Eye. Let's go ahead. Oh wow. Okay, this is not what I was expecting. Okay, so this is quite dark. This must be Private Eye. You can see that. That's quite dark. They go on very smooth. This is Love at First Sight. This is kind of like a lighter bronzy color. And then this is Rose Colored Glasses. Okay, that one's definitely the lightest. That would be a nice all over shade. And then I did have one more that was in a different colored box. This one is Snake Eyes. Okay, and that's similar. Snake Eyes is similar to Love at First Sight. This is fun. Okay, so let's go in for an all over shade with rose-colored glasses. I don't know what I was thinking trying to do this without my contacts today, but my eyes just needed a break. But anyway, I think it's helpful to kind of go back to the beginning. And if you are someone that is dealing with perfectionism, I'd be curious if you've ever considered sort of what the origins of your perfectionism are. For me, I definitely think it stems from my upbringing, because growing up we moved a lot and I dealt with addiction in the home. I've spoken about this a little bit in the past, kind of as it pertains to my own academic journey, but growing up, my mother struggled with drug addiction, and it definitely defined many aspects of my personality and kind of how I see myself, how I see the world around me. Another thing that I've realized as an adult that it did is it instilled this need in me to strive for perfection. I had to hide what was happening at home by appearing perfect on the outside. It was really important that I always showed up to school on time. I was always dressed nicely. I always carried myself well, spoke well, so that there was never any concern amongst my teachers or anyone that anything was going on at home, because I was convinced that if they knew, that I might be taken away. So perfectionism became tied to need for safety and this need to remain loved by my family. I know all of that is kind of heavy, and this conversation might not be for everyone, and I totally respect that. I understand. It's never easy for me to talk about these things. Even now, I spent so many years trying desperately to hide the reality of my life that even now when I talk about it openly, as an adult, I'm almost 30 years old, it feels like I'm doing the wrong thing. It feels scary. It feels like I'm making myself vulnerable to my life being torn apart, essentially. And within academia, coming to a little Ivy for graduate school, it kind of reinforced some of those principles for me of feeling like if people know the truth, maybe they won't respect me as much, or maybe they won't think that I am as intelligent or as capable. And so it's been a kind of conscious effort to deny those thoughts. And sorry, I'm gonna try not to talk with my hands because I feel like that makes the shot blurry, but it's been a conscious effort to deny those fears and try to be more open and honest and vulnerable, because I know that there are others out there who have dealt with similar things. I have been fortunate enough to always find friends over the years somehow that dealt with similar upbringings, and so we've been able to relate on that level. I truly believe that God has brought those people into my life for a reason. By me sharing this here, I'm hopeful that if you dealt with similar things growing up, or if you're struggling with perfectionism now, maybe you can kind of identify what that root cause is, because that has helped me to acknowledge when it's coming up and I'm feeling this need to be perfect in those moments when it's really challenging. Okay, I'm going to go in. I feel like we're just friends hanging out at like a sleepover and playing with makeup and talking about life. Okay, this is the dark one. I don't want that one yet. I might not want that one at all right now. I'm a little scared of it, to be honest. Okay, what's this one? This one is just a little bit darker. So I'm gonna take this one kind of around like the outer edge to create a little bit of shadow there. And this is Love at First Sight. So that's how I lived most of my life. I definitely went through a rebellious phase in high school, which is a conversation for another day. By the time I got through undergrad onto graduate school, the perfectionism was very alive and well, in full force. I think it's very common for PhD students to be perfectionists. For many of us, it has probably served us well over the years, helping us to achieve things academically and professionally. And so for that reason, many people may see no issue. For me, I started to realize that this need for perfectionism was preventing me from not only connecting with other people, because it sort of is this wall or this veil that you keep up, but it also was preventing me from truly connecting with my authentic self. Because I know for myself, and I'm sure this is true for you too, the things that I love, the people that I love, that I admire aren't perfect. To be forcing myself into a space that was trying to be perfect, I didn't love that version of myself either. And that's one strategy that has kind of helped me work through it over the years, is when I am feeling like I'm imperfect and I'm struggling with that, reminding myself that I love and admire things that are imperfect. Those are the things that are powerful to me. Imperfect characters in movies, imperfect people in my life. It's those imperfections that make them real, authentic, relatable, and there's so much power in that realness, authenticity, relatableness. Allowing myself to exercise that as well has helped me connect with other people. That's kind of like a thought process that has helped me when I'm struggling over the years with kind of facing my own imperfections. I'll be honest, I cannot tell at all if this is like blended or the same with the way the light's coming in and the mirror I'm looking at, but I'm just going with it. So I've mentioned how sometimes it can be challenging to even want to change when we're perfectionists because it has served us well. And I think with that, there can be this component specifically for PhD students or just people who are very successful in their lives academically or professionally, that we're fearful that if we let ourselves slip, we won't be as successful. And honestly, the only thing that has allowed me to work through this a little bit more is kind of experimentation. Giving myself the freedom to do the bare minimum in some of my academics, during my PhD, some of my projects, meetings, whatever it may be, has sort of illustrated firsthand to myself that I can do less and achieve more in the process. I think it is one of those things where you just have to try, ironically, try to do less sometimes and see what happens. Do you feel like you still can achieve the same goals, maybe with even less stress or turmoil in the process? Can you still connect with other people, maybe even more people, by doing it that way? By letting others see your own imperfection, your own thought process, your own insecurities, how uncertain you may be. If you are getting ready to give a presentation and you're nervous, it's okay to start off by saying, yeah, I'm excited to share this today. I am a little bit nervous because I haven't shared this work with anyone yet, so I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. I did that recently in a presentation. The problem when we come off as someone who is fully capable all the time is that people might not realize when we're struggling. Allowing myself to embrace those imperfect aspects of me and to share them with others, I think opens this door for connection. Not only may it impact someone else positively, but it allows others to be there for me as well, which is definitely something that I need. We all need that connection. Okay, I don't want this video to be too long. I feel like I've touched on a lot of things already, but I didn't use all of the sticks, but I used a good amount of them. And I think it's pretty fun. I'm definitely gonna play around with these a little bit more. I love that they do not tug on the eye. They're not irritating whatsoever. Oh, I can't get that mascara open though. Shoot. These all have good ingredients too. Oh no, oh my gosh, I cannot get the mascara open. Oh, I got it. Wowzer. Okay. I'm glad I got it. It's a small brush, which I usually go for large brushes, so we'll see. I'm gonna be very careful, even though I can't really see what's going on in the mirror behind me. Okay, so I just applied the mascara. It is nice that that small brush allows you to get really close to the lash line. I'll be curious to kind of wear this throughout the day today and see if it bleeds or flakes or anything like that. I would say that if you wanna try something from 2020, I would definitely recommend the eyeshadow sticks. They are so smooth, apply like butter, no tugging at the eye, which is really nice, especially if you do have contacts in. I know for me, whenever I'm trying to apply eyeshadow with contacts in and something is like tugging, it's the worst. So I would definitely recommend the eyeshadow sticks. I love that they allow you to create a little bit of a smoky eye that can be wearable in day or night. I could go in with that darker shade if I wanted to really kind of take it up a notch for more of a nighttime look. But I'm loving these so far. I know the lighting is washing me out quite a bit, but you'll just have to take my word for it. I hope that you have heard something here today that maybe you can relate to or that has caused you to think a little bit. If so, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, how you're doing. I'd love to connect with you all more. Also, feel free to comment down below. Let me know what you would like to see in an upcoming video for me. The sun is coming out right now, so I am more washed out than ever, but thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.